I'm going to use it as an opportunity to, of course, advocate for decentralization as I always do. But this is a funny story. Some of you guys are probably caught up on it by now. But there was some weird leftist sort of alphabet group called for a travel advisory to Florida. I remember seeing these tweets go out, and this is what they said. Equality Florida, which describes itself as the largest civil rights organization dedicated to securing full equality for Florida's lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community. And they issued a travel advisory this week because of the common sense moves the Florida legislature has made in focusing, at least this is what Breitbart is saying, on protecting youth from radical leftist gender ideology and more. And this is what they said today. Equality Florida took the extraordinary step of issuing a travel advisory warning of the risk posed to the health, safety, and freedom of those considering short or long-term travel or relocation to the state, the organization said in a press release this week. Says the passage of laws that are hostile, they call these laws, to the LGBTQ community restrict access to reproductive health care. So that's, of course, referring to the abortion issue. Repeal gun safety laws, which all laws are infringements. Foment racial prejudice. That one just pulled out of the tail. And attack public education by banning books and censoring curriculum. So I want to give you guys perspective on that. One, of course, is referring to with this whole LGBT stuff. They're referring to being able to teach, I don't know, third graders in the curriculum of I don't know, sexuality and all sorts of weird stuff that, you know, you shouldn't be discussing this with fourth graders. But that's what it is that they're mad at. And that, of course, was a point of contention. We just discussed this, all the people that were mad at this, even Disney getting in on the fun with that, because apparently it is controversial to in a school, controversial to say that, hey, it doesn't really matter what sexuality you are. We're not going to be teaching that. That apparently was a controversial thing. Now, I want public schools to be completely eliminated, but that's neither here nor there. Going on, though, if there's any repeal, everything they think is gun safety or gun laws, any event that let's say a repeal of a law that shouldn't have been there in the first place as it pertains to gun ownership. The books thing is interesting because from all accounts, this is talking about definitely sexually explicit books that are being aimed and targeted to kids, unfortunately, are being provided to them. Sometimes in the curriculum, sometimes it's in the libraries. And of course, they had made efforts, and a lot of places have, to make sure that those aren't seen. Guys, they have been long after your children. And the fact that if you don't give access to them, they consider it a threat upon them. If you say, hey, you're not going to be doing that, that stuff is weird. And they look at it like you're threatening them. Now, this travel advisory stuff is hilarious anyway. I don't know if you're helping these areas or intending to help these areas, because people will probably have the position that, hey, yeah, probably don't come to this state or this area, geographical area, if you are into that sort of weird stuff. And by weird stuff, I'm talking about indoctrination of kids with the sexuality nonsense, or thinking that they should be reading sexually explicit stuff at a very, very, very young age. Yeah, that's inappropriate. Yeah, that's the probably people that you want to stay away from. But the fact that you guys see it as a problem, that tells you a lot about these organizations. But again, I guess it helps out Florida in this kind of roundabout way if you are listening to these people. Look, I would prefer nothing more that all the people into that sort of weird stuff migrate from the areas around, let's say, people that value liberty in some case, some way, shape, or form, and normal behavior, rational behavior, allowing people to just, let's say, as parents, preserve the innocence of their child without this goofy stuff and weirdos trying to use children to validate themselves and their own existence and lifestyle. Yeah, if y'all got up and, let's say, I don't know, went to Oregon or California or something, I prefer that a lot more than maybe going to Texas or, in this case, Florida. I think a lot of people would. I certainly don't want to be sharing a government with these weirdos at all, because a lot of these are non-negotiable issues. So I don't know if it's some reverse psychology stuff, I don't know. But whether they know it or not, they're probably helping Floridians by saying, hey, don't come here if you are into this stuff. Because, yeah, if you want to indoctrinate children with weird stuff, they're not going to allow you to do it. Therefore, you don't want to be there. Okay, go stay where you're at, I guess. If you enjoyed this video and want to support other content, please become a member at ericdjuly.com. This is my own unique platform that replaced my Patreon. Our Ultramax, which is our highest tier, gets free shipping domestically even with Rippaverse orders and are able to redeem the Creators Edition copy of ISOM #1. You can move up and down tiers or cancel at any time. Also visit Rippaverse.com. This is my comic book company that launched a $3.7 million campaign. We appreciate your support.